We're live on Spiritual Psychics TV with Paul Bannister and his guests for Spiritual Talk.
Hi everybody and welcome to SPTV, and here which is now the home of Spiritual Talk. So welcome to another show. It's great that you're here. It's 8 o'clock, it's Thursday night. Where else would you want to be? We have got some exciting news as well, but first of all, come in and say hello. And don't forget to share. We appreciate you sharing the love, guys. I'm sure the gardening club would like to know all about mediumship. I'm sure they won't mind if we share it. But if you don't mind sharing it out, we really, really appreciate that. First of all, though, guys, this show was designed for you in mind. This show was an opportunity for you guys to get inside the mind of the medium and what it's like, to dispel some of those urban myths and to reinforce good practice. And tonight's guest does that. But before we introduce tonight's guest, the exciting thing is, guys, we are on Zoom now as well. Normally, we used to use Skype to go across the platforms, but now we're using Zoom. So therefore, we can get you guys in and come and ask our guest a question. As long as it's relevant to the topic as well, that would be handy. But come in, come and say hello if you'd like to come in. We'd love to see you. Guys, we're just waiting for the comments to load up. Just let us know you're there. Hi, Terry. Good to see you. She's saying hello to everyone here. Just let us know where you're coming in from. We always like to know where you are, guys. And don't forget to share. And Serendipity's coming in. Hello there. Hi, guys. And Jane Helen, good to see you. Beautiful tree, by the way, Jane, wherever that is. And Jody, good to see you, Jody. Thank you for joining us this evening. And guys, and hello to Lou up there in Nottingham. I hope you guys are well. And Lisa, good evening, Lisa. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let us know where you're coming in from, guys, because we'd like to know we're international. We'd like to know we're reaching the four corners of the world. So, hi, Julia. And so, guys, if you didn't hear what I was saying at the beginning of the show, we are now live on Zoom. So if you've got a question for our guests, is something that you would really like to ask a medium, doesn't matter if you think it's silly. I bet your bottom dollar that someone else is thinking that question. So, we got Katrina coming in from Budapest. Hello, Katrina. Good. Oh, Katerina. I should put my glasses on, shouldn't I? I have, but they're so bad. I need new ones, Richard. My glasses are so bad. Even my son was laughing at me today. Hi, all from Stoke and Trent. And that was, I missed that name. Sorry. And Carol's coming in as well. Hi, Carol. Good to see you guys. I think, Richard, shall we just get on with this show? Let's get our wonderful guest in tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, I want to introduce, we have a wonderful guest tonight, international medium, and I'm going to get shot if I get this wrong. Sandra Mitchell Aetheris. Sandra, I've completely... Please save me, Sandra.
It's Sandra Mitchell Aetheris or Aetheris.
Aetheris. I had it written down. I even pronounced... I'm so sorry. I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us here on SPTV. How nervous are you that we're actually going to get guests in to ask questions as well? You are our first guest to have that opportunity. So hopefully it's going to be fun. And we're going to be doing some messages at the end as well. So stay tuned for that, guys, too. First of all, though, welcome to Spiritual Talk. Can you just briefly give us a little bit of an insight how you started on this journey?
I don't want to take too long over this. My mum was a medium and it was in the family. And from a young age, I was aware of spirit. All the family were, actually. And I sort of grew up with it, accepting it, and just never doubting it and knowing a lot of spirit were there. And then I think as I got older, it just got stronger and stronger. And I wasn't really interested in working with spirit. Actually, I was quite scared of them. And they just wouldn't leave me alone. And it just went on and on and on. And then when I had my children, it got a little bit stronger. And then just one day I turned around and said, okay, who are you? What do you want? Even though I could see them and feel them around me, I wanted to know the purpose of why they kept coming close to me all the time and wanting to talk to me.
So just quickly on that, you said you was afraid of it. How did you get through that? How did
I
you?
don't think I've ever recovered, to be fair.
Okay, how do you work with that fear, shall I say?
No, I don't have fear when I'm working with spirit. I have the odd moment. I mean, like this morning, I was woken up with a female voice calling my name. This was 5 o'clock in the morning, which I wasn't too happy about, but it was a nice, friendly voice. I mean, I suppose I've had that all the way through, but there was times, you know, when you're young and you're a child and you got siblings all around you and you all see and hear things and you all get excited, but there's a certain amount of fear with it as well. I mean, it was heavy stuff. You know, it was a lot of physical phenomena going on around us, you know. And I suppose as I started and I got to know my guides, they took me on journeys which I knew nothing about at the time, and I had to come across all my fears. That was really interesting. I didn't understand the purpose of it, but and then gradually, I started to really trust them and know that they were there, and it sort of takes a lot of the fear away from you. But really, there's nothing to fear. I think it's just childhood things that have stayed with me.
I was going to say, if you're aware of spirit as a child, surely that in itself can be too much. It can be overwhelmed by the presence of spirit as a child if you're not sure. Does that make sense? That could be something
I
that.
think it was more the physical phenomena that went on.
Okay.
The wrappings and you know, tappings and all these different things, and you know, the bed covers being pulled and you know, and things like that. So when you're young and you know, even though my mum was a great believer and my grandmother was a medium, but not in this country, it's in Gibraltar.
Yeah.
So, and they used to do trance and experiment a lot, but obviously it was behind closed doors. It's all
Yeah.
secret. So
Yeah.
Catholics. But yeah, I sort of just sort of grew into it gradually. I fought it all the way. Sometimes I had my good moments where my brother used to come and my younger, or he was older than me, but he died very young. I used to see him a lot. But then, you know, and other times with all the physical stuff going on, that was quite frightening.
Yeah. Did you want to talk a little bit about the physical stuff? Because there will be people out there that are having similar experiences and not understanding what that is and why they're having that. Maybe something you could offer, or in terms of your own experience, what happened to you?
Looking back now, you know, as I view it now, and I get a lot of physical around me now,
Yeah.
it's just they're trying to get your attention. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of energy that builds up, and what happens? They use that energy to communicate, like tappings and rappings, voices outside your head calling you, and all these different things. And it's just taking control of it, really.
Yeah.
At the end
Yeah.
of the day, it was very random. It was uncontrolled. It was just, I mean, really, they were doing what they wanted to do, and then I just took control of it. You know,
So, from an observation point of view, from my perspective, having only met you recently, I know we met the other night. We had a little technical meeting trying to work out how to use the system. But from what I've met and know of you already, Sandra, I hope you don't mind me saying this. There is a real sense of you being like a natural medium, naturally gifted. It's coming through that family line. Do you believe? Sorry, go on.
no, go on, you go.
No, I was just going to say, do you think that's helped you? Do you think that natural ability has really helped you?
I think when you go to classes and different things and you have tutors, I mean the way they work and how they teach you puts ideas into your mind, so you're
Yeah,
constantly questioning things. But when it comes naturally, you've got no preconceived ideas there, so whatever comes, you accept.
yeah,
You just accept whatever you see, whatever you hear, you just accept it. And without realizing, you're developing all the time
yeah,
and obviously building a toolbox. So I think that that when I first went to the church to see what was going on, I found that, and I will say this, I found everything very, very natural and very easy to do. You know, it was just like it was just all there. I never questioned it.
yeah,
I never thought, is it clairaudience? Is it this? Is it that? I never thought any of that. I just went with the flow. Whatever
yeah.
my guide showed me or told me to do, I did. And yeah, that's how I've got to where I am now.
Because a lot of people want to develop, and I'll come back to, we've got Melissa, we got a great question from Melissa here. A lot of people want to develop that don't have that natural ability. And here's another question within a question here. Do you believe that people are born mediums?
I think let me say this.
As opposed to people that can work at it. I mean, I believe there's an innate ability and some mediums believe
I
that,
think a
that we
lot of
all
it is
can.
acceptance.
Yeah.
Is acceptance. I mean, because my mum spoke of it, my grandparents, we just as a very young age, we just knew spirit were there. We knew when you left your physical, you didn't die. They were still around. So it was like a natural acceptance. So if I felt something, I knew it was spirit. You know,
Yes.
I never questioned anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I naturally, you know, so whenever the spirit worked with me, I just took it on board. I never questioned anything and it just flowed. And I think if you haven't got that from a child, I think it's a little bit harder because
Yeah.
you mature and you start questioning a lot.
Programming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you haven't got sympathetic parents as well that understand what's going on, that makes that a little bit more harder, I'm guessing. Melissa's asked a great question. Physical stuff has been scary for me. I feel I don't know how to block it out and put up that wall when I don't want to experience it. Any tips with that, Sandra?
Yeah, I mean, I can only go by how I've dealt with things and how I work. I think you need to be really firm, and I think you need to talk out loud to whoever's around you in your home and just say stop it. And then
Yeah.
I call in my guides and I say, well, what's going on here? What's ever in the house? What's ever going on? Just stop it, and that's it. That's
Yeah.
how I deal with it.
So it's a firm approach. No
Yeah.
nonsense. Let's not be having this. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I mean,
brilliant.
if it's something that I don't particularly want to respond to, I don't link in with it. I'm not interested in who it is or anything. I just say basically, you know, leave my house, get out my house, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I say
Yeah.
I talk to my guides and I say, well, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to that in a sec. I just want to remind people, guys, you can come in and ask Sandra a direct question. I mean, where do you get the opportunity to meet a medium? Well, you don't have to pay. It's all free. And that's the whole part of SBTV. We are free to the public. So take that opportunity, come and meet us, come and say hello. We'd love to see you. I believe you just got to ask Richard and he will let you in with your question. That'll be, and yeah, and Richard will put the Zoom details in the room too. And Jodie, hi Jodie, she's asked Sandra, what makes makes a spirit negative?
I don't know if they are negative. Are they negative?
I don't know. I mean, I guess
I mean, do you know my own personal view? I mean, I think there's many dimensions out there. And I think when we switch to another level of consciousness, awareness, that not only are we opening the door to the spirit world, but I think other things can, from different dimensions, can pop in. I don't believe our loved ones would allow anything negative to get through. And I think sometimes things can appear scary. You imagine it, okay? You pass to the spirit world and you want to talk to your family who are here. You do everything in your power to get through. You'd bang on
absolutely.
doors, you'd move things, you shout, you turn the radio on, you do all these different things to try and get their attention. So you need to look at the bigger picture because sometimes it can be quite nerve-wracking, but it's just, you just take control, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it goes beyond our understanding, our programming of what we've been brought up, we've been programmed pretty much by society. And then to have an experience that is not within that program, our natural fight and flight kicks in, you know. And I've even heard mediums where someone's coming in there, I'm going out that way, you know. It's a natural thing to feel that negative energy, I guess. But I don't think spirit is. Here's a great question. In terms of mediumship, you've already touched on the other levels as well that are out there. The other, well, I'm not sure if you just froze, Sandra. Are you all right? Are you still there? So I thought you froze. My screen had froze then.
I was thinking.
In terms of, see, I always believe that mediumship is almost like a doorway to a whole different world. And I think we can miss something by communication only with our loved ones. There's so much more out there. I don't. How do you feel about that as a philosophy? Do you believe it's just our
Oh,
loved ones?
I think there's other dimensions. I really do, and I think once, as I say, we expand our awareness, we're open to it more, and they can communicate with us, and and we can with them. I mean, how big is the universe really? And we think
Yeah.
we're the only ones there. Well, there must be more out there. Call them aliens. Are we the aliens? You know,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
don't know. Is there parallel universes? I mean, are we in more places than one? Remember, we're from the source, and our souls divide. We could be living on different places. Yeah, we could be everywhere, really.
But it's bad enough trying to keep ahead of this one. I can't imagine being anywhere else. Absolutely, absolutely. Louise, hi Louise. Before my van brother, I'm not sure if that's me, passed, I floated above people and astrally traveled a lot. Now it's not as frequent. Why does it happen randomly now?
What's that? Sorry, darling.
So yeah. Oh, doesn't it? Oh, sorry. Okay. So I think
Sorry, I can't see what's been written because that. Oh, I told you earlier what's over the screen.
that's, yeah, there's a screen over your comment. So Louise is asking that before her brother passed, she used to float above people and actually travel. Now it's not as frequent. Why doesn't it happen? She said randomly now, so I'm not sure if it's not happening at all. That's
My,
text.
I'm not sure about that one because I sometimes you astral travel and you come back. I mean, and obviously when we all go to sleep, we come out of our body and we talk to our loved ones in the spirit world, I believe anyway. And maybe since her brother's died, she does it in that way. Like
Yeah.
she comes out of her body in a sleep state. So maybe
Yeah.
when she does that, she goes to sleep, she has to take a notepad and a pen next to her and ask to be woken up or ask
Yeah.
to come back and remember. And then you'll find out.
Some
But
there is some teachers out there that are teaching to astrally project and astrally travel. It's not an easy discipline. It's something that takes a lot of effort to do. Um, but I've only had a couple of experiences through a dream state though.
no, I had I'll tell you my one I remember that sticks in my mind is when I was quite young, I was about 20. My sister had recently died.
Okay.
And I went to go to bed and I come out my body. I knew I was out my body. I walked in the hallway and she was standing there. And she was jumping up and down like she was weightless completely. And I said, "What are you doing here? You're dead." Well, I mean, it's not a nice thing to say, but
It's an
I
obvious thing
said,
to
and
say.
she started laughing and she said to me, "Look what I can do. Never mind about that." And she started tumbling down the stairs and she was
Wow.
doing all sorts of different. She goes, "Come on, join in. Come and join in with me." That was
Wow.
the one I really, really remember. Another one, I've had a few. I remember I kept saying to my spirit, my soul, whatever, I want to astral travel. So come on then, come and teach me how to astral travel. So I remember lying down, I was going, all right, I'm ready, come on, take me. And I came out of my body and I went into the hallway and up the stairs were all these monks. I didn't expect to see so many monks in the hallway. And as I went into the hallway, I just went, whoa, when I went back in my body, it was a bit freaky.
Okay. Okay. Do you think, okay, so that's a great segue into guides.
Yep.
Do you know your guides? Do you think they were guides?
Can I go back to when I started and I very
Yeah,
first met them?
absolutely. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
well, I mean, when we had all the physical phenomena going on and all the things going on in the house, my children started getting woken up as well, and all these things were happening. And then Mummy Bear stepped in and I sort of said to them, okay, I know you want, what do you want now? We're gonna have to meet up and talk. So the next day at 2 o'clock, always put a date, say I want to meet tomorrow, 2 o'clock, make an arrangement with them. So I did, and
Okay.
I sat down and I just sat there and I waited and waited, and then in my mind's eye I saw, no, sorry, that's a lie. First of all, I saw a hand open, and from the hand, a butterfly came out,
Oh, beautiful.
and it was absolutely beautiful. And then I saw all my guides. It was a complete white background, and there was about four of them all standing there. So, because I said I wouldn't work with them unless I saw them clearly and they introduced themselves to me. So I was privileged to be able to do that with them, and that sort of made me all excited and made me want to work with spirit more than go into it sort of working with them.
Do you think you needed that though, in terms of the safety? Because you touched on that fear factor.
I
That
did,
yeah.
100%. And my dad had to be there. That was another instance I had. I called out to him once and I said, "Oh, come on, Dad, you're in the spirit. Well, what's going on? Why are they doing this to me?" And he said to me, "Do not be afraid. No harm will come to you. Do not be afraid." And from then, my dad has always been with me.
Can I ask you another question? Because forgive me, I didn't know that your dad had passed, or your sister had passed, or your brother had passed. And I'm so sorry for you. Sound like you've had a lot of loss, and we're sorry for that. But can I ask you, in terms of your relationship with them as a medium, do you communicate a lot with them?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, all the time. And how is that in terms of, does that give you a better understanding about the levels and about how they connect? Do they talk about that?
It makes it more normal. It
Okay.
brings me down to earth because their personalities haven't really changed. And so they joke with me when I'm working on platform. They guide me to the right people. You know, they try and help me. I lost a baby and I see her as a little girl and she's like a runner for me sometimes. It's like if I'm thinking, oh, where am I? My radar's out. I'll see him or her in my mind's eye, run to the right person that I need to go to.
Yeah. Yeah. That's brilliant. That because it does mean so much to have your loved ones in spirit that are with you. There is that special relationship with that. I'm not saying that you have to have someone in spirit to work, but it does have another level of working. Gwendolyn is asked, how many guides can we have at one time, or do they show up when needed?
I think there's teams of helpers there. I really do believe that. I mean, they're so intelligent. There's so much going on, organizing each contact that we do. So, say I'm doing a reading tomorrow, and I've done one today. I can pick up who's coming tomorrow, the spirit, getting ready
Wow.
to come the next day. So I can actually see a lot of what goes on,
Yeah.
and and it's not only I see a communicator next to me here. I can see them all in the room, all queuing up, all waiting. I can see how it happens. I can see how they shift shape. They, they
Yeah.
change into different things, and I can see that all going on.
So that's a really interesting, when you talk about shift shape, um, I mean, I've seen that. And for those at home, probably their ears have just pricked up at that, Sandra. What do you mean by that?
What I mean is that you say I mean, the first time I ever saw it happen is when I was doing some healing, and in my mind's eye I saw an eagle coming down, come through the door, and as the eagle landed, it turned into a Native American Indian. They can be who they want to be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know the stories of when people say their loved ones appeared at the bottom of the bed, but they look younger. They look so
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
because they want to appear like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they change that they appear how they want to be. So if you think about it, if they can do that, can our guides do that? I mean,
Yeah.
what goes on? Do they change? I mean, is that how they change? We're all one, and they just come in as different guides.
Now, see that I don't want to go too technical and start talking about energy and the soul light, but there is a level of that. They are this ball of energy, to put it in layman's terms. And when they want to show themselves for who they were, if you're clairvoyant, you can see that. You
Well,
don't. Sorry, go on.
so and I put it that way. I came in the room this evening and I was asking for my guides to be with me. First of all, I just saw white energy, but tall white sort of energy. And then all of a sudden there was robes around them and they appeared how I want them to appear. But really
Oh.
they're just energy.
Yeah. Yeah. Kate's just put, thank you for inviting her on. You are, Sandra is wonderful. So you've got a fan in tonight. Stephanie's put, I was asked, my third eye was shut twice as a child. How would I open up again, or would I be able to?
Have we got an eye?
A third eye?
Yeah. Is it
See,
is
I just want to joke there, but I can't. It's
I know.
inappropriate. So, that's another thing we should talk about, because spirit have the most fantastic sense of humor.
Oh my God, I think that's so missed. And when you see some people work, they're just so serious and they lose the essence
Yeah.
of person and
Yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, because I come from a family that always bantered, we always joked, we always I seem to have that sense with communicators when they come through and I can't help
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, me too. And but that also keeps it real, keeps it live, and it's so special because within that laughter there's love. And I
Yes,
think that's the essence, isn't it?
feel it.
I've got Yeah, I've got a guy that's got a really dry sense of humor, which just then makes me laugh, and I have to make sure I really focus because I'd end up dropping out the power. But okay, so coming back to you, Stephanie, third eye was shut twice. Is that a thing? Do you believe a third eye can shut down?
No.
Have you had a fear experience, Stephanie, potentially? That and I always think sometimes if you say that enough, you make things happen.
I
You kind
think
of
I think what happens is that through my experience, I think that the guides work with you on your different faculties, which is something I didn't want to talk
yeah,
about. We talk about the third eye. Say for a while we won't be able to see clairvoyantly for a while, not as clearly as we did. And then we might use our other senses. We might hear more. We might, know more, as they say. The other faculties, and I think they develop each faculty as much as they can. And then
yeah.
when you need to use them or in full flow, you don't even notice you're using any of them. You just do it.
Yeah, yeah. There is a sense though. For me personally, when I was more clairvoyant, and I remember doing my first demonstration. I went from clairvoyance the first half, and then I heard his voice say, "Right now, you're not," because I was making too many assumptions with seeing and just seeing, and not listening and not using everything else. And I found they developed certain individual senses, but then it all became one and just became a natural. And you didn't
But
really.
mine was slightly different because if I saw something I didn't trust it, I had to have backup.
Oh, okay.
I have to have backup. So if I hear it, I have to have a visual or I perceive it. So when I first started, it was all in my head and it was all white, and then I could see everybody like I'm looking at you. And then when I first stood on platform, that all just went, and I very rarely get that back now. But I work in a different way, and they brought all new things in for me.
Awesome. We've got our first guest on Spiritual Talk on SBTV. Hi, Martin. Can you hear me? Oh, no, we can't hear you. You just need to unmute yourself, Martin. There's a little microphone icon in the bottom left-hand corner. It's normally in the bottom left on Zoom. So what? Or hopefully you're there, Martin. Is no, it's still there. It'll be in if you put your icon over your face. Oh, there you go, Martin. Yeah, we got a delay, Martin. Yeah, you've got a delay. So, do you want to ask Sandra your question, please?
I like to say I know, Mum.
Ah, he's not quite live yet, Martin. We're just gonna. Yeah, it's because you. So what happens when you're on Zoom, guys, and you're going through speakers? If you've got speakers for your audio, uh, I would go to the internal speakers. There you go. Oh no, you just need to. Yes. Yes, got it. So it's always the external speakers that cause that bounce back. Yes, got it. Hi, hi, Martin. External speakers that cause that bounce. Oh, maybe not. It's coming back at me again. Okay. Uh, I'll let you ask the question, Martin. Speakers that cause that bounce.
Okay,
Oh,
so
maybe not. It's coming back
so,
at me
yeah,
again. Okay. Uh, I'll let you ask the question, Martin. That cause that. I haven't, no.
okay,
Oh,
so
maybe not. It's coming back to me
yeah,
again. Okay.
okay.
I'll let you ask the question, Martin.
So my question, Sandra, is I know as you just said, I do know Sandra, but I'm just asking Sandra that how she feels where she's going in the future, what she's hoping to achieve. I do know Sandra, but I'm just asking Sandra.
Yeah, we can ask. Sorry, Martin, we're gonna have to drop you out because there's too much of an echo. It's like three different people in the room. Sorry, my friend, but we will answer your question. Y- Oh, hopefully. Yes. Ah, okay. So, okay, you've nailed it. So, sorry, do you want to ask that question of Sandra again?
Yeah, so yeah, Sandra, I do know Sandra, but I'm just wondering for the future where she sees her mediumship going and what she's hoping to achieve.
I always think that my mediumship is all part of healing, and I am a healer. So I just want to spread the word, and I want to those that are grieving and who've lost their loved ones, to help them bring not closure, just to help them have a better understanding of the spirit world and what happens when we pass over to the spirit world, because that's usually people's worry. Where's my children? Where's my dad? Where's my mum? Are they okay? And bring evidential mediumship if I can to prove they still survive. I love traveling, and that's my main thing. And I do a lot of traveling now, and I intend to do a lot of traveling. I intend to improve my philosophy. That's one thing I love. I never used to be fair, but now I do, and I like inspired speaking rather than just myself speaking. I like to be inspired. And I just want to grow and evolve and develop as much as I can. And also, I want to be able to, I can astral travel every so often, but as that young lady said, I want to be able to do it when I want to and investigate that more, because I feel that's where we all need to go a little bit, because we can astral travel to where our loved ones are. And if we can contain that memory of what we experience, we'll have a better understanding of what the spirit world is all about. Because I think at the moment, and myself, we're all going around in circles. We're not seem to be moving forward. There's no breakthroughs. I mean, in the old days, they used to manifest spirit next to them, didn't they?
Yes.
And they used to have a hell of a lot more evidence going. And I think it's never been the same. I don't hear of it. I don't hear of things moving forward. It's the same old, same old. And that goes for me as well. It's the same old, same old. So I want to move forward in that way. I want to have a better understanding and speak of more philosophy. So hopefully through the philosophy or trance, I can actually bring these philosophers through to tell us what's actually going on and what's happening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you for being brave and coming in. Awesome. Thank you so much. But following on from that, Sandra, in terms of we talk about physical phenomenon and in terms of going deeper, creating more, do you think it's more to do with a society thing of where we are today in terms of work? I mean, we work so many hours today. It's unbelievable. And the expectation upon that we have to pay the mortgage, you both mum and dad are working, both parents are working. It's difficult to have that time and space to dedicate.
I think it's being committed, and I think it's a passion. And I think there's some of us that are really, well, I know I'm really passionate about it. And and I know that's the direction I want to go into. So I'm hoping to form a home circle, and I will make the time, even if it's a fortnight, but we all come together and we do experimental mediumship or physical phenomena. I mean, because I work I teach in a church, and as an experiment, I said, come on, let's do an experiment. So we all turned the lights out, and we sat there, and we could see each other's faces, but it wasn't very bright. And we closed our eyes, and the first thing we heard is voices in the air, which was brilliant. And if we just had the time to do that a little bit more and more committed, I mean, I'm sure we'd move a lot further ahead with healing.
There was a famous gentleman in Italy, I can't think of his name. So sorry, guys, but there was a documentary on Netflix, and it was about the skull experiment. And also the people from the skull experiment went to visit this guy in the mountains in Italy, and he had one of the old-fashioned radios, and all the ladies would come around every Thursday. He'd turn the radio on. This radio had no tubes in it. And it would tune it in, and he'd hear. I'm not going to do an impression of him. We've had him on SPTV, have we? Oh, Richard's just said he was on SPTV. It was amazing what he could do with the radio, and voices were coming out of the radio. and you really had to see it to believe it. It was just, and I believe there is a documentary out there. Is it on? Can people look in the back catalogue, Richard, to see it? Is it in there somewhere? We believe, is that the guy from the skull experiment? Yeah, Alan Bennett from excuse me, Alan Bennett from the skull experiment, which is just up the road from me. It's not too far away. And they had to stop after 5 years because of the phenomenon they were creating. It got so busy, if my memory serves me right. But again, the skull experiment is a documentary on that. It's well worth checking it out. But I agree with you, Sandra. We need a lot more of that, or go deeper and experiment more.
Just, I don't know. I look around and I just think it'd be nice just to go back to the old days, learn a lot from the old style mediums who really dedicated themselves to this. And nowadays it's sort of like, I know I give a lot of reading, so I'm not putting this out on everybody else.
Yeah.
It just all everyone seems to want to do is give readings, and no one really, well, there are people, that sounds terrible, but it'd be nice to see more people coming forward. I mean, the old school or even the older mediums that, you know, were a part of that or remember it.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah,
can,
absolutely.
they can do things to help.
Yeah, I grew up with things like that with my next door neighbor, Pam, if she's listening. Hello, Pam. Christine has asked a question. First timer, can you tell if other people have gifts? Do your guides tell you if people are connected?
Well, yeah, I mean, I work with my guides quite closely, but if I'm doing a reading and I'm opposite the person, obviously I link with spirit, but then I look in their aura and around them and I can see what's going on. And usually I can tell immediately if they link with spirit and what happens and everything else.
So can we talk a little bit about auras? Because I it's one of my things. I love looking at the psychic. Would you call that psychic faculty? Because we're looking rather than being told. Does that make sense? Would you call that class?
Well, I think when you work psychically and with spirit, they're all the same faculties. It's just that my soul connects with yours, so I'm linking in with you, and I'm seeing what's all around you and what's happened in your life, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like mind reading, really, because I'm dipping in. I'm dipping into all your personal information, all your memories, everything.
Now,
go on.
Do you get, do you get stopped and people say to you at a party, "Oh, you're Sandra, you're medium. Can you see what colors I am?" Do you ever get that? I'm sure you do. Do you not see? I'm so tempted when I get that to play, to be naughty. I don't.
No, I don't. I do. When I switched off, I switch off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not working, and I just have to be me and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I'm switched off.
Yeah. Yeah. But
you go crazy.
But colors in that respect, people can do. There's a lot of exercises out there that people can do. There's a lot of stuff online. You can tune into color.
Well, you see how I learn about, because mine first was mediumistic. It was all spirit, and I didn't have a clue about psychic. And then I started doing readings, and someone come to me, and I said, "Well, I got so and so," and they go, "Yeah, but is my boyfriend cheating on me, or is this happening, or is that happening?" I thought, "Oh, how do I know that? I want to learn." So I started looking at people's auras, and then I asked my soul to give me all the. That's all I did. I said, "Give me all the dirt, just information." And I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced. It's like
So,
stronger.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Okay. I kind of want to avoid people having affairs and anyway, so moving on swiftly. Donna's asked a great question. So do our spirit guides and past loved ones see us as just a light, or do they see us as we are in person for them to be able to see things we're doing and going through? Because I've had mediums say to me, when you're looking at a photo of them the other day, they were with you. So surely they saw me to know at
Sometimes that can be just psychic.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's psychic. I find that sorry, I told you I lose the plot sometimes.
No, I was sorry. I was just getting caught up in the message if I was sounding it out right. And basically, I think what she's saying, can spirit actually see us? and see
I
who
tell
we
you,
truly
I
are.
mean, I tell you, the only thing I know about that is I used to do like transfiguration and different
Yeah,
things, experiment.
yeah, yeah.
And with my children, actually, I know it sounds awful. I'm not a bad mother. They're all mediums, actually, but I used to do it with my children. And when they used to come really, really close, and it's almost like they look out your eyes. And I remember distinctly a voice saying to me, I can see clearly, I can see. So I don't believe they can see it. They see us as souls and spirits. I don't think they see us as like I'm wearing a white jacket now.
So they see us as color. They see us as our energy and our true color. But then there's no hiding with that. They can see who we truly are,
Of
our
course.
vibration, which is a beautiful thing. Beautiful concept. Thank you for that, Donna. Sorry, I kind of killed your question a little bit trying to read that out, but I hope that's what you mean. Oh, she's got another one. Oh no, yeah, that is the same question, I think. Thanks for that, Richard. Yeah, she's just clarifying. So yeah, so it's just that light. Yeah, absolutely. I believe it is.
And can I just go over that just a little bit? Because I just saw the end of the message there because I
Yeah.
can't see the messages. Spirit do know when we're upset. They do know when we're going through difficult times, without a doubt. And trust me, they're there. They're
Yeah.
just a thought away. You think of them and they're there. They know when you're going through difficult periods. And I feel, my own opinion, is that they can come through in your dreams, and
Yeah.
they can come through in different ways to try and help you. So
I
in other
agree.
words, you're never on your own. Your
I agree.
family's with you.
Yeah, and if people could just, so many times you hear people, I just felt so alone. If they could just feel within that space around them that they're not alone. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that, Donna. That was awesome. Thank you. That's a great question. Don't be shy though, guys. Come in, say hello. Mrs. MB, what do you love most about your gift? And did you always know you had it? Sorry, I've just joined, missed beginning of the live. Don't worry, Mrs. B. MB, you can go back and watch it on Facebook or YouTube on SBTV. So don't worry. We're always there. So what do you enjoy most about your gift, Sandra?
I know it sounds cheesy, but it's helping people.
Yeah.
It's working for spirit and with spirit. And I think each word that comes out has a healing vibration. So we're helping everybody all the time.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's, and I enjoy it when, someone, they leave and they're so happy, and it's almost like they've been healed. They've been helped.
Yeah.
When you get a non-believer come and they come for a reading, and you give quite good information and specific information. I always remember, can I just tell a little story?
Yeah, please do.
I always remember this dad came with his wife, and they'd lost their daughter, and he was a complete non-believer, and he sat opposite me. She left the room. He sat opposite me like this. He wouldn't answer, he wouldn't do anything. And then I was giving him information, he was just looking at me. But there's one thing that his daughter said that turned him all around. His special nickname for her.
Oh.
And he started crying, and then he relaxed, and then it was just a little thing like that. I was giving loads of other information, how she died and everything else, but it was just that little thing that was so special between the two of them.
Yeah.
That helped him so much.
Yeah, that's important. That's really important, those little details. And that's another thing, isn't it? About getting, how do you deal with people that come and go, well, me and my husband have got a code word, and if I don't get that code word, it's not him.
I had that today.
Oh, no way.
I
I must be psychic. Okay.
I always get a lady come for a reading. Oh, I hope she's not watching.
Okay.
A man
Yeah.
for a reading.
I get why people do it.
Oh,
I get it.
well, I understand fully, but usually, if they don't mention it till the end, it normally comes out beforehand.
Yeah.
But if they mention it as soon as they sit down, it makes me nervous. I get all anxious and I feel under pressure. And
Yeah, because you're looking for it, because you want to please.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I feel I can't work my best.
Yeah.
But the lady come today, and she got loads of information about her husband's cousin who passed. He was in Italy. Really detailed information, and I was quite happy with myself. I thought, oh, that's really good. Even a nan come through and all this. And at the end of it, she goes, yeah, that was really good. She said, but there was just one thing I wanted to know.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
well, what can I do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a few years ago, I'd said, "Oh, come back in and I'll get it for you." But you know,
No, no, did you?
yeah, no, I didn't. But I'm
Oh,
saying, a few years ago, I probably would have done that. I wouldn't do it now. I mean, I
do,
felt like she got all she needed.
do you think that's, yeah, that's mostly down to us wanting to please
Yes, of course,
prove?
and also we're under pressure,
Yeah, of
and
course.
it does affect us. We're only human, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Guys, we're going to go to a break in a minute. So we would love you to come on. We are going to do some messages in a while, but not for a little while. We're still into our interview, but we'd love you to come on. All right, guys. And come and say hello. Come and meet Sandra. Come and ask any question within reason. Okay. We don't do the lottery numbers. No jokes like that. Okay. We've heard all the old jokes. So it'll be lovely to see you. So we're now going to go to the break. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hopefully Richard's loaded it and ready to go. And we'll see you. And we'll see you in 2. Don't go anywhere.
Introducing the SPTV app, your digital spiritual guide for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the clairs and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPTV app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, join Adele and Laura as they host their show dedicated to wellness and positivity. The program will feature special guests and live interactive readings.
Hi, guys. Welcome back here on SPTV. Don't worry, Sandra hasn't gone anywhere. I just wanted to remind guys, I don't know if you know, but we're also on TikTok. But we need 1,000 likes, subscriptions. I'm not sure how it works on TikTok. Followers. Thank you, Richard. If you don't mind following us, then we can go live on TikTok too. We've got a lot more content to offer. So if you get a chance, pop in and follow us on TikTok. That would be great. Also, don't forget to download our app. We've got a fantastic SPTV app, which is available in Google Apps. Please download that as well. And don't forget to share our interview tonight with Sandra. We're just about to welcome Sandra back in. And any second now. So, guys, don't forget to share. We'll bring Sandra back in on the stream. Welcome back. I always hold my breath. I always hold my breath just in case Facebook do something. It's good to see you, Sandra. Thank you for being on SPTV on Spiritual Talk. Getting back into our conversation before we left, there was a few things I wanted to talk about as well, specifically about burnout within mediumship, because you do a lot of readings. How do you deal with the demand on your time with readings?
Not very well, to be honest. I try to stay focused. I try to be disciplined. I try to, say the weekend or a couple of days a week, not put things in my diary. I am getting better, and I usually work 6 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And I try to get as long as I get a good night's sleep, I'm actually fine. But I do, as I'm getting more into this, I'm cutting out certain things. I'm not doing so many churches because I haven't got the time.
Yeah.
I want to spend time with my family as well,
Yeah.
grandchildren and things like that. So I'm making more time for that now. Yeah. And
Yeah.
if I get really tired, I just make sure I get a few nights good sleep. But also I ask for my guides to help me, to bring in healing for me. And
Okay.
yeah, I always ask them to step forward and for them to step sorry, someone's just passing me a cup of coffee.
Oh, could do with that service myself. Was that yeah.
You see that?
No, I didn't, but that was seamless. That
They're
was seamless.
they're crawling on the floor. All right.
I love that.
So yeah, it is one. It's not. I'm not very disciplined, to be honest with you, in that way. I try to be, but you know, when you get people, you know, saying, "Oh, please, 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 please," all the time, you know, and yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to keep putting people off.
Hi Jody. Jody's asked another question. How come our late ancestors don't come through? It's usually who we know in this life. Is it because of the physical connection you had?
No, I don't understand that. What it is that when I first started doing my medium, I can only talk for myself.
Yeah.
When I started doing my mediumship, I did get people that were, you know, great grandparents and things like that. And then I'd give the evidence to the person and they'd say, well, I didn't know them.
Yeah.
No, you know, lack of interest there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Sure.
I said, always bring through people they know.
Yeah.
You know, they can understand who's coming through. But as I've moved forward with my mediumship, I do bring evidence of their great grandparents, things that they would know. It's no point talking about things they don't know. Always
Yeah.
things they know. So if you say that to your guides, they'll bring the right people through for you. Because remember, your guides are organising everything in the background. The team, there's loads of them. There's teams of people helping.
Can I ask you another question? For me, sorry guys, I'm hijacking a question. I would like to know, is there a platform medium and a very popular platform medium? How do you deal with a contact that no one takes? Have you ever had that experience?
Well, what I normally do is if I you know I say say you've got a child coming through, blah blah blah, and they go, no, I don't know it, and no one puts their hand up, I just say to my guides, who am I connected to? And in my mind's eye, the child will shoot over beside the person that I need to go to. All it is a jogging of a memory, you know, and then you give more information and they go, oh yeah, I remember that. Or what I do is I say, okay, we'll just ask them to stay there for a while, and at the end of the evening we'll try and find out who they belong to.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Is that good enough answer?
Yeah, well, on Friday night, I was doing a demonstration, and this guy gave me his name. He had a heart attack. He told me he had thank you for the white lilies at the funeral. All this information came through, and it was like, you know, no one knows him.
Yeah, because
Okay.
sometimes what happens is that, and this is the best evidence you can give, is that you won't get that validation there, but they go home and they talk about it, and then they find, oh yeah, that was so and so, and they go, really, you know, and then that's the proof it's passing the message on to the right person. Does that make sense to you? Say
Yeah.
I had a,
I don't know if you can see that, but that's exactly what happened. A lady messaged me after the show and went, "I'm so sorry, Paul."
yeah, that's right. Evidence. And I always remember doing one, it sticks in my mind, that a brother come through to the sister and he said, oh, there's something wrong with my headstone, it's broken. And she said, no, it's not. I said this to her. She said, I can assure you, I was there a few weeks ago and this headstone is not broken. I said, well, I'm sorry, I can only give what I'm getting, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but if I'm right, you know he's got good evidence here. 3 weeks later, I got a call from the church saying that the lady had rang up to apologize to me, to tell me that she'd went to check and the headstone was broken.
Wow. Yeah,
So
that's
why I'm
brilliant.
trying to say the evidence always isn't, you know, there and then. And it you know, I think it's also proving to us that we are connecting as well as to the family member.
I've had so much of that over time. And do you think also when, like, I like to go for names. So I remember another one, and I use this as an example. This guy came and he said, this lady in front of me, I'm her Uncle Ian and I lived in Edinburgh. And she went, oh no, love, no, we're all from Norfolk. So I'm like, so where do I go with this? No, we're all from North. She said, give me that look, oh God, he's a right one. But her mum came in and it went on and flowed from there. But right at the end of the evening, but everyone had gone home. She went, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot about my Uncle Douglas in Scotland.
Yeah.
My guide said,
Do you know what it is, Paul? It's our ego.
it is. My guide said, put your
Yes.
ego away.
Yeah, it's our ego. Because
Yeah, it
we
is.
need that proof to make us feel better. But it's
It
not.
does. It does. Because I get nervous. Even I've done loads of demonstrations, but I still get, even when I come on here, I'm still getting nervous. There is a part of my ego that this is not a natural thing to be doing. I should be putting my feet up, having a beer, watching Match of the Day, but it's not. This is what I've chosen to do. It doesn't always feel so natural. So that ego gets in the way. So I kind of sometimes I think, why have I chosen to do this job? Helen's asked a great question. Do you see aura straight away? And does your aura change?
When I look into people's auras, it's always changing. Always. And if they're not very well, there's certain colours on the area of the body.
Yeah.
If it's yellow above their head, they're normally a teacher or they're at university or college. They're doing things like that. So each aura, each colour tells the story. And sometimes if they're grieving, especially with mums, it's a very soft pink above the head.
Yeah.
And things like that. And it does shift, it does change.
Yeah.
My brother's got an aura machine, one of those aura machines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we were experimenting and we found that teenagers were always red auras. It always came up. Every teenager, was a red aura. And someone who'd lost a child was a very soft pink above the head and just off white.
Oh,
and so we were looking at all the colours.
Oh, wow.
So that was very clever.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting. Because that's the one where you have to put your fingers on the pad. Is that the one? Yeah. Yeah, they're very good. They're definitely worth a try. Absolutely. So coming back to demonstrating, because there will be a few platform mediums here tonight, and it's good even if you're not a platform medium and you're out there just starting to investigate mediumship. In terms of, well, I was going to say, why do we do it? But in terms of the negatives, the biggest question is, how do you deal with the no's? So for you, how do you deal with those no's?
I say you're wrong, I'm right. No,
I'll have to try that one.
What I give 3 more. I try to be disciplined and I try to give 3 more bits of information. If not, I say I really do apologise. I'm wrong. And I normally am, because sometimes your radar can be out.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Your radar can be out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And you're with the wrong person. There's no point going on and on and on.
Yeah.
I've done that before and I learned a big lesson with that many years ago. There's no point. What you do is you accept it gracefully and then you move on to the next person.
Yeah. So do you always go direct then?
No, I don't know. No. Sometimes I build up. Sometimes I go direct. I mean, I don't know how I work at any given time. I don't know what I'd be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's just a kind of like an interactive thing. Is there something you could give people in terms of how you work that makes them feel spirit? Is there a meditation you do, or is there anything you could give to people they could try? Sitting in the power. Is there anything you could recommend that people might be able to, or if they have the time, to try and connect?
I can only say what I do.
Yeah.
Right. What I do is I visualize the source.
Yeah.
And I bring the light down all the way through my crown chakra, right the way through. I take a deep breath. I push the light out. I expand my aura, and as I do so, my awareness expands. And then I just tell them if they don't give me what I want, they're in big trouble.
Okay.
No, I'm joking. No,
that's
what I do. And I expand my aura, and then I just say to my guides, "Are you there?" Like tonight, and then I have a sense of them, and I feel them, And once I know my guides are there, then I know I won't have any problems.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And they're having that trust as well, because essentially that is the biggest word, really, is trust.
Yeah.
And the information you're getting through. What about difficult information that you know someone has passed over? How do you deal with a delicate situation if someone's been murdered, for say? Or I'll just touch on this briefly because we're hopefully going to work soon. And I'll come back to Rebecca's question in a sec. How do you deal with inappropriate information that you get through, something you might have picked up in the aura or been told by spirit? How do you deal with that? If you know, are you aware of someone's going to die? Because people don't
Well,
know what.
that's an interesting question, because what I do, and I don't tell people this, but
Yeah.
someone's going to die. Sorry, no one's going to come for a reading. Let me tell you, I don't give this information.
No,
I
absolutely.
see a black armband on their arm, and
Oh,
the blacker it is, the nearer the passing.
yeah, just check my arms, all right?
Yeah, your
Right.
arms are fine. So
Good.
I can, and it's usually quite accurate. It doesn't do it all the time. I remember when they first did it, I said, well, what's the point of showing me that? Because I'm not going to tell them. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I see. And but I don't sort of, if somebody yeah.
So
I've done it with a few friends. I've said, oh, you know, who are the mediums? I said, oh, there's going to be a passing soon, and it's going to happen quite quick. And then a great aunt passes the next day, and she rings me up and said they passed. You know.
do you, do you mind sharing what one of the techniques you use to raise the vibration within a room? I love this. I hope you don't mind me sharing this live, because I'm going to try it tomorrow night. I've got a demonstration tomorrow night. I'm going to try it. Do you remember what you said about the triangle above the head?
Oh, I crack my jokes. Yeah, yeah. But they're not jokes really, because if I'm doing a reading and someone's having an affair, there is a triangle over the head.
You
know,
do get that? That's real. I thought that was a joke.
No, it's 100%. There's a heart in the triangle, means a love triangle.
Yeah.
If it's a drink, you see on one of the corners of the triangle, there's a bottle. So in the relationship, there's a drink problem with one of them. So I mean, it adapts to what's going on in that person's life. That's usually psychics above the head. So because I work a lot with symbology.
I was just about to say that leads into symbology, doesn't it? And the
So
importance of that is very
oh
important.
my God, I love symbology. And also, I'm menopausal. I forgot the question again. What did you say?
Well, I wanted to go into the importance of symbology around mediumship. I mean, how much and how in depth do you go with the symbology? Is it 50% of your work, or because it can tell a whole story about a person?
Yeah, I'll try and finish the first question you asked.
Okay.
That was about how do I warm the audience up, or
Yeah.
the
You're
conversation.
raising the vibration. Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, I play music. Music's so important, you know,
Okay.
and I get so nervous. I can feel the energy building up around me. And then I sometimes say to them, I tell them how I work, and then I say, well, I work with symbology. So if I see a triangle above your head, you're having an affair. That normally builds up the energy. Everyone starts laughing, they start to relax. The men run out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just people take it in good humor.
So is this why you only have all female audiences? Is that you've got a reputation?
Actually, I have a lot of men come into the
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and circles.
Yeah. Gwendolyn's put that's very interesting. Absolutely. There was another question. We missed that one, Richard. Did you see that last one? Hi Myra, this is great. Yes, it is great. You come in and ask a question. Guys, also when we go to messages, and if we are linking to you, would you like to come in so we can give you a more deeper evidential reading? Rebecca, yes, thank you. Rebecca, how do we know if we are unsafe, spiritually speaking? In terms of, I think she means in terms of the connection with spirit.
What do you mean unsafe? I don't know.
So if there's something quite dark around, or it was not particularly nice energy. I mean, personally, for me, I have total faith in my guides won't lead me down that kind of path.
I'm just trying to think. I don't think I've come across that yet. You know, it's in a message or around that person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see, because I work a lot with symbology, I see a slug on their back, and that means that they're feeling quite negative. and
Interesting.
the healers open the door and they come in and clear their aura for them. I see them working on them and trying to help them and doing lots of healing. If I see something black, to me that's not dark. To me that's a manifestation. It usually means a very strong energy. They're trying to manifest or things like that. Sometimes they use color as in spirit. We use color with symbolically as well.
Yeah.
Like that person was in a really dark place before they died, they showed black around them. So I know they were very depressed.
Yes.
But they use a lot of color as well. So so spirit use symbology as well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything to fear. If there's anything you'll feel uncomfortable with or you just don't like, just tell them to go away.
Yeah, absolutely. Sandra, thank you for joining us tonight. We are so pleased you said agreed to come on. It's always wonderful to have. We've had such marvelous mediums over the course of, well, we've been on here at least 6 months now, guys, and there's a great back catalogue if you'd like to check it out on SBTV. We'll do one quick question for Katrina. Katerina, honestly, I can't read to save my life tonight. Do you believe our guides can be with us from our or be with us from past lives, and do you think my guides can be someone else's guides at the same time?
Well, as I say, they shapeshift. So what I've seen is like one of my students is struggling. I'll ask one of my guides to go and help them. So I see the swap over. I see them join and I actually see the swap over. So I think we can share the guides with the same knowledge, if that makes sense.
So does that mean then that their guide isn't working in a way that can help them, or they're learning as well? So there's a process that the guide learns with the soul they've been connected to. Do you think that's possible?
I think my own personal view of this, everything is energy, obviously, and the guides are all made of energy. Everything's energy. So when say the only way I can explain it, so I have a student that's struggling with a particular faculty, or they're finding things quite difficult, I'll say to my guide, can you go and help them work? And then they pick up and I think my guide will stay with them and help them.
Yeah.
And kids know each other, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a huge team of them coming together to try and help us.
Do you have any memories of your guides from past lives, or are they?
Well, actually, one particular one I do, and he took me back into my past life with him. And of course, he's really good looking. And of course, he's a Native American, 6'2", you know, his broad shoulders, got muscles, still his chest. They have to be appealing, don't they? It draws you in.
What if you just get the dustman? Jeff the dustman, you know, from number 64 that lived down the road.
Well, that's how he came across to me. And he said I was in a previous life with him, and I've seen 3 guides that from that life are in my life now. They've shown me, I mean, there were guides in a previous life, but they are people around me now.
There'll be a lot of budding mediums out there be asking for the Chippendale for a guide. That's the only thing I'm worried about now. Yeah, I do know one of my guides was in a past life. We was incarnated at the same time. Have you had that experience? I was incarnated at the same time as he was, and I died, and he was the doctor, and I was on a Royal Navy vessel going back a very long time ago, 1753.
Well, this is what I just said. Maybe I didn't explain myself clear enough. I asked who my guides were and were they with me in a previous life, and they said yes, and they're with me in this life. So they're people now, but they were previous guides. So been in many lives together.
Yeah.
And they come in this particular life to help me at certain stages of my life. Say my husband was a guide as an example, in a previous life, things like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm just going to ask you one more question before we start work. And this is one of my favorite questions. What should we be talking about in the mediumship community and we're not talking about at this moment in time? What is important for you, or we think we should be developing or
I think we should probably not take it so seriously. I think we should all be all natural about it. And I think we should realize that just because our loved ones go to the spirit world, they don't become all pious and everything's not also, they're still real personalities.
Yeah.
personalities don't die.
Yeah.
So if they've got humor, they come through with humor. If they were serious, they're going to be serious.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to relax and allow spirit to be who they are or who
Yeah.
they were, allow them to express their personality.
Yes.
But I think we control it too much.
Yeah.
We want this, we want that, we want that, we want, I mean, what does spirit want?
Yeah.
All these rules and regulations of what we're meant to be doing and what we're not meant to be doing. And what it does, it interferes with the natural flow of communication. That's what I feel. Because
Yeah.
you're so worried about, oh, I got to get this and I got to do this and how am I working? That I think you're blocking yourself. And I think it's really hard for them to get through all this.
Yeah. Because it's part of your conscious mind. If you've got all that jibber jabber chit chat in your head, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, and I know there's techniques out there.
Put a comment out the other day, and it was about unconscious bias. Like
Okay.
some people are racist, but it's unconscious, and some people are this, and it's unconscious, and how it can affect the mediumship without us realizing. When I link with spirit, I'm just direct with spirit. My mind's not
Yes.
in it, so I'm not thinking about those things. Those
Yeah.
things come into the equation.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm working with love as well. I'm working with love. I'm
Yeah.
not.
So you're raising that vibration anyway,
That's
so
right.
it shouldn't really affect it.
That's right. It shouldn't affect.
Yeah.
If if you work with love, and that's one of the most important things my guide told me from day one, is work from the heart and with love, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here tonight. We would love you to interact with us. If you believe this contact is for you, Sandra, do you want to go first and I'll come after you? Well, I'm just going to keep talking. If you believe, guys, this is for you, we're going to give you some evidence. Come in, come and say hello. We'd love to see it. We don't mind if you're wearing your PJs or you've got your curlers in. We really don't mind. Okay, as long as there's no nudity. We did actually once, a lady came in that was in the bath. She was peering over the top of the bath. It was very hilarious, but it was all very, how can we say, all above board. It was absolutely fine. So come and say hi to us. And also it helps with the energy that we can have that interaction, because I believe there's a 6-second delay, if I'm saying that right, Richard, between your 15 seconds. So yeah, so between Facebook and YouTube, there's about a 15-second delay. Therefore, when we're giving information, sometimes you'll say yes to a question or evidence that was given earlier, and it's not being taken because it's slightly out of sync. So we'd love you to come in so we can connect with you. That'll be great. So when you're ready, I'm not gonna link yet. I'm gonna help you, Sandra. If anything comes up on the comments, you don't have to worry about the comments. I'll help you with that, because I don't think you can see them anyway, can you, properly?
I can't say anything.
Yeah, so I'll let you know what's coming up on the comments. Okay, so no pressure, but massive pressure because a lot of people watching. And I'm over to you. Over to you. And
I'll try my best. I've never worked like this. I'll just give it a go.
It is.
But the first thing I'm feeling is a gentleman drawing in very, very closely to me. He was definitely a smoker. And he's got a cigarette in his hand. He's putting it out and he's putting his foot on it. He's taking me to his breathing. So he would have had a lot of problems with his breathing. It's not emphysema. It's like a cancer across the lungs. And I know it was in one particular lung more than the other. That's what he's showing me. He comes in as a granddad and he wears a cap. So at some stage he would have worn a cap. He keeps pulling the cap down like that. He's got a lovely smile. He didn't have very good teeth. Sorry.
That could be mine.
He's showing me his teeth. So I know he's a granddad and he was a dad. And I just think he was, I know, so typical this. I just think he was really old school, this man. And he didn't hold back what he had to say. But he was a very loving granddad as well. And he had a twinkle in his eye. So he was a little bit of a rascal, this granddad. He's saying he's connected to someone here. I want to go to a female here that he's connected with. It's almost like a granddaughter, a daughter that he wants to talk to.
No comments yet, but I can take all of it. But I'm not. I'm not. Just reminds me of my dad. My dad's dad. Sorry.
Another thing that I'm picking up with this gentleman, he's got a nest, he's thrown it over water. So he was connected overseas in some way. We had family overseas. He keeps taking me to over water as well.
Yeah, that's not my granddad. My dad was a smoker, bronchial pneumonia, always wore a cap.
Okay, yeah. And is this a lady speaking now?
Yeah, these are ladies. Serena's put, it could be my husband's grandfather.
Okay, I don't know why. He's not giving me the name or anything, but I just saw the initial J above his head, so I know that's connected with him as well.
Yeah.
And also he's showing me his hand. So he was a hard worker. He didn't, he really got stuck in with his work. And he did lose a lot of weight before he passed as well. Okay. He didn't want to go into hospital, but I do feel he spent quite a bit of time in hospital. He's showing me the hospital gown.
Kelsey's saying she understands. There's quite a few people about 10 people. Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, darling.
Richard's taking it. Everyone's
Sorry.
taking this. I'm so sorry.
No, that's all right. He shows me 3 children, or he's connected to 3 children. He's 3 in front of him.
Yeah. Well, I can take it from grandchildren. Not.
He's talking about a daughter. He definitely has a daughter. He's showing me a daughter.
He does. Yeah, he has 2.
Oh, okay. And what else is the overseas links is quite important, because I think that might be he keeps showing me family overseas, or
That would have been my dad went overseas but came back.
overseas. All right. So
But Serena's put he had 3 children. So
okay.
that could be more. That's more specific to him actual. Whereas my grandfather had 5. So
okay. Oh, is it with Serena?
Could be Serena. Serena, we'd love you to come in. No, because she's got sorry, Richard. Yeah, she's got the bar going across. So I'm helping Sandra with this so she can see it. So Serena, we'd love you to come in. Would you come in? It'll be absolutely brilliant to see you. So I'm sorry if you're in your dressing gown and your curly's in. I'm so sorry. Oh no, PJ. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? We should run a competition for the fanciest PJs, for the fanciest nightwear. Who's going to be the most dapper? Yeah. Good. So we've got someone coming in. It's fantastic. Serena's husband's coming in. Awesome. Awesome. Great. So should be any minute now have our first, hopefully, message on SBTV Spiritual Talk. Okay, the link is now there. So hopefully we'll just, here we go. Here we go. Oh, we got Kate. Hi, Kate. Oh, you got Nick. Oh, well, Nick is Serena's husband, and you've got Kate. Can we do the 2 at the same time? All right, we're doing Nick first. Hi, Nick. Okay. Hi, Nick. Can you see? Can you see us okay? You're on mute, my friend. Just at the bottom left sometime. Yes, we're there. Fantastic. Good to see you, Nick. So do you understand all the information? Brilliant.
Would this be your grandfather? Yeah, because I'm seeing a grandfather and a father. I don't want to put your father in spirit if he's not there, but I just have a feeling of a father and a grandfather where they were very close. Yeah, I just feel your grandfather's been in spirit for quite a while though, because he's taken me back. It's almost like he's reintroducing himself to you.
Yeah, he's been a long time.
Yeah, and it's almost, he has quite a lively character, and he was a bit of a joker in his way. But then towards the end of his life, he's telling me he got a little bit like Victor Mildew. It was a joke about he got a bit like that.
Yeah, good fun. Well, I say good fun. It wasn't very good fun, but we had good laughs with him about, life in general, and he was always saw the best things even in like his ailments and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I know he didn't like the doctors, and I know he tried to avoid it, and I know he was a smoker as well, wasn't he?
Yes, very big smoker. Yeah.
People tried to stop him smoking, but I just got the feeling that he kept going. He kept going with the smoking as well, and he used to. And I see him with a pack of cigarettes. Actually, I thought it was roll-ups, but it's not. It's a pack of cigarettes that he used to have, and it looks like it's Oh, the golden packet. I don't know what, Benson and Hedges or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'd smoke anything he can get his hands on, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. He's telling me he was a bit of a tinker as well. He's, you know, he was a great joker. And I'm not saying he was like Del Boy, but he was a very down to earth man.
Yeah.
And everyone knew him, and he was quite a friendly guy as well. Now I want to work with the overseas link because he's showing me overseas. There's family members or there's connection to overseas.
Yeah, he went overseas with the army.
Oh, okay. And he would have talked of all this.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right, do you know, like the Only Fools and Horses, you know, like Uncle Albert?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the stories he used to tell? When I
Oh,
was,
yeah.
when I was in the war, that's what he keeps talking about. When I was in the war, he was great fun, this man, and he loved his family dearly.
Yes.
And he always did the right thing, and everything about him was in black and white. He swore sometimes as well. He swore.
Yeah.
He swore.
Yeah, he's proper East End sort of Cockney sort of.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And do you know what? I want to go into London as well with him. I know you said Cockney, but I'm seeing taxi drivers, I'm seeing market stalls, I'm seeing all that around him. So he loved all that.
Yeah.
And it also, he's showing me jellied eels as well. So he used to love his jellied eels, 100%. I can see, oh, they're horrible. They're all flying around everywhere. But he's showing me that as well. He used to love all that. Pie mash, all that sort of food.
Yeah, definitely.
There's something about his teeth. I'm not quite sure what it is, whether he lost a few or he keeps showing me his mouth.
Yeah, he actually, by the end, he had no teeth at all. He took them out himself.
Okay, yeah. Because he keeps doing that with me and I want to lisp with him. But he did it as a joke as well. He used to take them out and find it, you know, funny that he was without his teeth.
Yeah, and then in the end, he just took them out completely and just went old gummy.
Yeah, that's right. And he didn't bother him. He didn't care about anything. He didn't have any and your nan is in spirit as well. I feel she's standing with him. She's quite a character in a way. She had a bit of a temper on her, this lady, and she kept him in place, I feel. She got the old frying pan in her hand. She didn't mess around. This lady, great sense of humor. And I want to say Nana with her. And she was a lovely lady. And she's saying, congratulations, there's been a birth or someone's pregnant in the family. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, my wife, very, very heavily pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, well done. So
thank you.
they're all saying congratulations. They're all happy about this. And he's making me laugh. He keeps doing this to me. I was going, why'd you keep doing this to me? And I think if he wanted someone's attention, he used to do that. He's bringing your nan forward now, okay? Your nan, and she seems quite small to me in height compared to him. Quite a dinky little lady, but she would have lost weight before she passed to the spirit. And she's also telling me that she got quite confused as well. It's like he's saying she lost a bit of her marbles. He's saying, but she was like that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, she developed Alzheimer's.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But she's saying, don't worry, she's back to normal now.
No, good.
She's 100% back to normal. She's smiling as well. All right.
And,
there's a photograph of them in her bride's dress and him in a suit, because they're talking. I can see them looking so proud together as well. And I know you said he was in the army, but I want to give you naval links as well, because I'm seeing somebody coming off a ship, jumping off a ship, walking towards your granddad, and he's like a sailor or merchant seaman, and he's connected to your granddad, and he's standing beside him and he's waving, and he's saying he's in the family, connected to your granddad.
I think it was my granddad's
brother.
It wasn't his brother. I think it was maybe his cousin was actually on one of these ships that went out to the Titanic.
Yeah. That ship is, it's coming in. And he's jumped off the ship and he's just waving. So they're all pouring in now. Sorry, Paul. They're all
you're right.
pouring in now. There's loads of them all coming in, wanting to come and say hello to you. All
it's
right.
just to me. All the readings, they always seem to come into me for the readings.
Yeah. Are you not a message grabber then?
No, I don't know.
Anyway, I just feel he's bringing a lot of love. He's such a character, and I know it's a typical name, but I heard the name George being said to me in the background that I want to make reference to.
Yeah, George was his best friend.
Yeah, okay. And also I want to give you the name Jim, that's connected to them as well. And do you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing someone, you know, the old-fashioned motorbikes.
Yep.
I'm seeing when they were kids or when they were younger, him and his friend used to have a motorbike because they're showing me their younger days.
I see. I wouldn't know too much about that, but quite possibly he did like driving and everything like that. So
Yeah, this man is he was a good soul. All right. And he had some funny habits as well. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I can see funny habits that used to make the family laugh and lots of memories as well.
oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And I just saw this beautiful white feather draw, you know, fall in front of you. And that's his calling card from Spirit. Okay. And sorry, I've got one more thing to say.
No, you carry on. I'm happy.
He used to like to whistle. I'm saying,
Yep.
yeah, I can hear the whistling.
Yeah, he used to whistle all
And
the
when
time.
he used to whistle, his wife used to say, "Who are you whistling at?" He said, "It's not me, it's the birds." Right?
Yeah.
So he used to torment his wife all the time. But she's a
Yep.
lovely lady, great cook. I can see her messing around in the oven and everything else. And the most important thing I need to tell you is like they're going, we're together. We're together. The two of them are together, but they have got a child with them that's passed the spirit as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that earlier and I didn't want to say straight away, but they have got a child connected to them who's in the spirit world as well.
Yeah, my aunt passed away.
Yeah. And I just they're showing me loads of stuff actually. So what's the 14th of February mean to you? I know it's a Valentine's Day, but they keep showing me Valentine's, like the 14th of February.
Oh, off the top of my head. I wouldn't know off the top of my head. I'll have to think about that.
Well, yeah, that's maybe one of the bits of information you go and find out about. It's quite relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you didn't forget the roses, Nick.
That's probably what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So they're all excited about the baby. Just say congratulations to everybody. And I want to go also just say one more thing. They're talking about fostering and adoption in the family. So that is quite relevant. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
They're talking about that as well. They're going and they're talking about all these different things. And someone's saying Fred. I know it's a typical name. And he's a great joker, your granddad, all right? And he could be here forever. He could talk the hind legs off a donkey, this man.
Yeah.
And he just wants to say he loves you. And he's saying be proud. And he's put engineer above your head. There's a connection with engineer work or engineering. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's kind of what I do for a living.
Yeah. And he's saying how proud he is of you. Because he used his hands in his work as well.
Yes, he was quite hands-on. Yeah.
Because he's showing me he could do anything, you know, that's what he says anyway. But, you know, and he was a good-looking lad when he was younger. He's going back to when he was younger.
Well, obviously, I got his looks then, didn't I?
He's given me the name Peter as well, just been called out. That's connected in the family somewhere. And hold on to it if you can't take it. But this lovely man, he's smiling and he didn't take any nonsense. I said wonderful things about him, but at the same breath, he was a little bit disciplined. He liked people to behave themselves. That's what he's telling me.
Yeah.
And please forgive me, Paul, what I'm about to say, but he's telling me there's a connection to prison here in the family.
Again, probably I'll have to. Oh no, him. Yeah.
Yeah. Prison.
Yeah. Military prison.
Yeah, he did. He was a naughty boy.
He was. He kept trying to skip out of his national service, so they kept arresting him, bringing him back.
He said he keeps calling it able. He said he says I went able, and I was like, that's what he says. But your nana's got a little bit of lipstick on her, and she always used to do that, I think. And she got a little bag next to her, and in the bag there's a horseshoe. So she was quite superstitious, I think. She's going in the bag, bringing out the horseshoe. I don't know if she liked bingo, but it always reminds me of my mum and bingo horseshoes. But she's bringing the horseshoe out. That's what your nan is saying. And she's taking me to a piece of land. So she was brought up around land, or there's a connection to land. See a house and land behind it. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah, she's showing me that as well. And she's talking about a lot of girls in the family. I'm seeing girls lining up. She says girls rule. Remember, they always rule. I want to give you the name Margaret as well that's coming through. Margaret.
Yeah. Margaret was his sister.
Yeah, okay. And also I want to say there's an aunt coming through who didn't have any children, and that's her calling card. She said, have any children, and you should remember her or know of her.
Yeah.
All right, they're all here, bringing loads of love to you. And he used to tell the story about the prison, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. More than once.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's like Uncle Albert out of Horse and Horses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I was in the war, he says, when
Yeah.
I was in the war. And
Oh, yeah.
he's talking about a bicycle. A bicycle. It either got stolen, he was on a bicycle. There's a story about a bicycle as well. And he's laughing with his friend. Remember, I saw the bike? It's like they're
Yeah.
bringing that back. It's like, I'm not getting it quite right. But all I hear now is laughter. Loads and loads of laughter.
I
Okay.
think that was one of his escapes out of the army. He used a bike out of the
Yeah,
camp.
I can see him. I can see him. It's going
Yeah.
down. Just
Escaping on a bike. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I heard an unusual name, Todd.
I'd have to think about that one.
Todd, just come from nowhere. Todd. He's saying he had a great life and he's got so many memories in the spirit world of what he used to get up to, and he was a little scallywag. And he loves your nan, and he's pulled her close. He's put his arm around her, and they look younger now, and they're both exceptionally good-looking ladies. There's a lady here in a uniform like the RAF, you know, the RAF uniform. I'm picking up that as well. So I don't know if they were connected to your nan was connected to the RAF. She's showing me she worked during the war. It's like, or she showed me the bullet. She worked during the war or in a factory or something. She keeps bringing that to me.
Yeah. Yeah. She did work in a factory.
Yeah, she's showing me that as well, and she's just bringing back so many. And who had the gun in the house?
Oh, that was actually my aunt, the one who passed away.
She kept a gun.
Yeah, it wasn't a real gun. It was like a replica.
Yeah, she's talking about the gun. I mean, she kept the gun just in case, she said.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Sandra,
Oh,
I'm so sorry. That's all right. Do you want to do one quick one? Another quick one? Because you are on a magnificent roll.
No, I'll leave it now.
Are you sure?
I'll leave.
I was enjoying watching this. It was fantastic. Nick, thank you for joining us. And good luck. So, good luck to you both in the upcoming.
Yeah.
Well, look forward to seeing it all over Facebook. So congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, take care, guys. So I'm going to do a quick one now, and I've got. Thanks, Nick. We're just going to drop you out. Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Sandra. I was just watching. It's lovely just to watch you flow and get in that energy. Nick almost got a full reading there. You might have to charge him. It was brilliant. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to do a quick one because we are running out of time really quickly. I know I've got a gentleman here that's a brother from the spirit world. As he comes into my energy, he's very, very cheeky. He's got a lot of energy. I also know mum and sorry, I know dad is in the spirit world with him. But I also, I'm not sure if it's mum or grandmother with him as well. I also know that the gentleman, the father, had the stroke as well on the right side of the face. But the brother is here as well. He's very, very cheeky. I keep getting names like Philip as well that connects to him, or the Phil as well. It's very close to him. So if you understand this information, please let us know. I'm just going to keep going, but I know the brothers in the spirit world. I know, thank you. I know it was an accident that took him into the spirit world as well, as he's telling me he went over rather suddenly. I know it was an accident, but he's very cheeky. He's also trying to give me the name, what sounds a bit like Damien. Or it's very similar, Damien. It's very similar to that, which is quite an unusual name. He's trying to give me that name, bless him. I also know, thank you. I also know there was a pet that had to be given away to a relative as well, and they're talking about the pet that was given away to a relative, and they're very appreciative of the. I believe it was a dog. I'm sorry if it's a cat, but I believe it's a dog. If anybody understands this information, I'm just going to keep going. And I keep hearing Phil and Edward or Eddie as well that connects to him. Thank you. And one more name, and then thank you very much for saying okay. Does anybody understand the brother in spirit with also father? Potentially, there's a grandmother as well with them. There's 3 generations over there, but it's the younger brother that's coming through that's really strong here tonight. I also the 3 3 generations. Yeah. Okay. How much of this do you understand, Richard? I know you understand the brother in spirit world, father as well. Serendipity's put, my granddad died in an accident, but I don't resonate with anything else. That's not that then, because I've got the younger man here as well. So I know it was he calls it an accident. He didn't mean to do it. Okay. And also with the, I don't know, it's a shame people can't hear you on here, Richard. MJ. Okay. MJ's put my brother. Would you understand dad in spirit as well, MJ, as well? That's really important. The three come together. There's another gentleman, sorry, there's a lady with dad, I believe is a grandmother. So I know it's 3 generations. But the name Phil or Philip as well, or Edward or Eddie, I keep getting. I'm also very much aware, both father and brother, both. Okay. There is a really, okay. Okay. I also know, I'm not sure which one, whether it's father or brother, would like to gamble. Very much so. Would like to take risks and gamble. This is MJ. Potentially, he's just said yes. Okay. Okay. If you understand this, MJ, have we got time to bring him in, Richard? Edwin, father's name. Thank you. Thank you. If not, we can keep going with the messages. I know you have a very special person in spirit, MJ, and I'm very much aware of that if this is your connection. But there's also a brother that wants to connect with you as well. There's a lot of love here coming from the brother MJ. Really, really tight-knit family connection with this. Lots of love. He just wants to reassure you that he's around you at this particular moment in time. Hopefully you can understand this information. Do you understand there's also a jumper, or there's clothing of the brother that's still here, that's still being held, it's still okay. I believe it's a jumper, a woolly jumper I'm seeing that's still here. I know it's being held and smelt memories. Okay, it's a shame about the delay. Be nice to get him. Jana's coming on. Someone called Jana's jumped on, Richard. Can you see that? No, we're just waiting to see. This is a lovely connection. If I can bring this through, it'd be wonderful. So I'm just going to keep going with some more information. Jana, if you're there, can you hear me? The wonders of technology. This is that bit. I'm just going to keep going. Yeah, I'm very much aware. Like I said, the predominant contact here is the brother. Very much a lot of love coming through here. I do think I'm with MJ with this because I know he has someone very special. Yeah, he understands it. He has someone very special in the spirit world. And I keep being distracted by Jana. Whether you're coming in, Jana? I'm not sure. No, so I think this is Jana, I believe. I'm not sure if she can take this. Yeah, because we can't see you, Jana. So sorry if you're not taking this. Okay. Yeah, see now I know this is you then, MJ, because I'm getting the football connection in on this as well. I'm being talked about the football connection. Although you would have had to explain the football to your brother, he wouldn't have understood the English football. You'd understand that. Also, the name Brian, it sounds like as well, he's trying to give me. Yeah, it's so much harder when you can't see their face. And hear you. I'd love you to come on, MJ, if you possibly can. We've got a few more minutes left, I believe. Okay, and I've got a collective here. I'm very much aware of your brother and your dad here. And I'm very much aware of your daughter that's in the spirit world. But for some reason there's something going on around family, and your brother wants to be here, be close to you, which is really why I want to connect with you, MJ. Do you understand this information? Yeah, we might have lost him. I don't know if he can hear us or not. Do keep the messages flowing, guys, if you understand this. That'd be really good. He said yes. Okay, yeah, it's not coming up on my screen, so I can't see it. All right, thank you, Richard. All right, I'm just going to keep going then. Uh, I know there's an anniversary coming up. He's talking about the anniversary, and we've just gone past a very important birthday as well. The anniversary, I believe, is a passing. Okay. Also, he's trying to give me places. It sounds a bit like Calderwood, but I think that's my English head because I know you're in America, MJ. It sounds very much like very similar to Calderwood. I also know who was okay. You understand him liking sport though, because it's very much is making me very much aware of that. There would be trophies or there would be achievements from his sporting activities. Would you also? Oh, we think we just lost Sandra as well, Richard. Ah, okay, okay, no worries. So I'm just going to leave all their love with you, MJ, if you can hear me still, because I'm not sure if you're still picking up on this. Ah, great. Yeah, that's fine. All right, yeah, okay. I'll leave that there then. Thank you for working with me, MJ. That's brilliant. And I'm just going to bring Sandra back in because I just really are very much bad at football, good at everything else. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, MJ. And you're back. So, Sandra, I just wanted to say thank you ever so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.
It's been a brilliant night. We've really appreciate everyone coming on. Thank you. Some of these technical issues are going to happen, guys. So bear with us. It will get smoother as we go along. So it'd be great for you to come in so we can hear your voice. We would love that. That'd be fantastic. So for now, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time with Johnny Fincham, a completely different topic. Johnny is a palm reader. I almost said an astrologist, a palm reader, and a very famous one too. So that'll be a real treat for you guys. So I'll see you again back in 2 weeks. For now, guys, have a good weekend, and we'll see you very soon.